What do you think about the way that this Congress is ending?
I need more than this to get me through the rest of this Congress. This is to be the worst performing Congress in the history of the United States of America. And it's all because the House cannot move. That one vote vacate, one person can threaten the Speaker every time. And the only way you can remain Speaker here is to do nothing, because you're going to make someone upset.
There are very fewer and fewer people like you in the Senate. I mean, is
A lot of
that?
my colleagues would say, thank God.
Yes, they would, including some in your former party.
Oh, many of my former party.
Do you still consider yourself a Democrat?
I am not a Democrat in the form of what the Democratic Party has turned itself into, the national brand. Absolutely not. And they know that. They're all good people on both sides.
But what do you think is the reason for? You said you're not a Democrat. What caused Joe Manchin to divorce himself from the
Here's what
Democratic
I
Party?
told them. I said, you ought to figure out how you lost somebody like me. I was born as a Democrat because of my grandfather's love of FDR. I was a very strong Democrat because of my family's love of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I came through the whole iteration. And then I was a Democrat in West Virginia, and it's always been a 75-80% plurality of Democrats, registered Democrats. But there was a split. I was never in the liberal side of it. I was never in the establishment side. So I always had to fight my way through.
What is the is it a shift on social issues?
Yeah, the brand got so bad. The D brand has been so maligned from the standpoint of it's toxic. And the D brand is basically this. I've told him, I said, first of all, as an American and as someone in Senate, and I'm going to take the Constitution, oath of the Constitution that I take very, 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 very seriously. I'm going to help every human being pursue the happiness in their life. Pursuit of happiness. I don't care who they are. I don't care what color. I don't care any of the things, who they love and what. Do it, and that's you. And I'm going to make sure you have the opportunity and right to live your life. Just don't make your life, if it might be on the extremes or in the minority, of few, make me believe that's the norm. Or make me and my family believe, or my children believe, or this or that. No, I will protect you. Just don't try to mainstream it. And the Democratic Party, the Washington Democrats, have tried to mainstream the extreme.
How would you describe what the Democratic brand is right now? In a couple of words, what is the Democratic brand?
It's basically infringement on me making decisions. And let me tell you why. The Democrat I grew up being, they wanted to make sure that people had an opportunity for a good job, a good pay. They would make sure you got a decent pay where you have some benefits and you can enjoy your family, and make sure you had a safe working condition. That was one of those things. Okay, that's all. They never infringed over in, you can't live your life that way, or you can't say this, you can't do this. I mean, there was a fairness in it.
So you think it's changed?
It has changed tremendously. They have basically expanded upon thinking, well, we wanted to protect you there, but we're going to tell you how you should live your life from that far on. It's the mindset of the left, the progressive left, which was always a minority. In West Virginia, the Democratic Party is perceived for more attention and more resources to people that are capable and able-bodied that won't work or don't work than those that do.
Okay, this is from the incoming chair of the House Progressive Caucus. He says, if the Democratic Party was a little more like Chairwoman Jayapal and a little less than Joe Manchin, I think we would have won this election.
They'd have lost. They got to be nuts. For someone to say that, they've got to be completely insane.
Why?
The people in America voted, they had that opportunity, to vote with Kamala Harris and with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, hasn't been said. You know exactly what you're getting. He hasn't made any bones about it. But you might say that's too far right, okay? If that's the case, then why did they go too far right when Kamala was trying to come back to the middle a little bit, okay? And they're saying if Kamala would have been who she always has been, pretty far to the left, it'd have been better for her. That's crazy.
So why do you think that Harris lost?
Well, first of all, Kamala had a hard time just getting any type of support or favorability when she was 4 years as a vice president. I think her numbers were always low for whatever reason. So it wasn't connecting there. Now all of a sudden they said, and I heard this too, she only had 100 days. I think that was to her benefit because basically she was having a hard time trying to come back to the middle and then speak about it with any conviction.
So you think that she was too far left and she tried to shift to the middle and people didn't believe
If
it?
you try to be somebody you're not, it's hard.
You had considered running for president. You had waited. Well, take us through your mindset. I mean, you were thinking about running first in the Democratic primary, and then you were thinking about potentially running after Biden dropped out. Why didn't you pull the trigger?
Here, first of all, I saw every cross section that you could see of any polls, and it was very clear that the people of America did not want a repeat of Joe Biden and Donald Trump. They didn't want that, and there was an avenue, there was a middle road to be had. They would want someone in the centrist, whether it be a former Democrat who's in the center, former Republican in the center, put a team together, show them how to reunite America, show them how to make it work, how we can work together, and put our country before our party or our own thoughts and own self-service. We saw that very clearly. But you had to be on 50 ballots.
You were having a hard time getting on all 50 ballots.
No labels. My friends in No Labels were having a hard time. That was very costly, very expensive. And I said, with all due respect, I'm not going to be a spoiler. I have no chance of winning if I can't participate in all 50 states. So why would I put myself through that or anyone else and go down in history books as a spoiler?
You told me that you were not going to vote for Kamala Harris. So who'd you vote for?
That's mine. That's mine.
But you didn't vote for Trump either. That's fair to say.
I participate in the process. There's many ways to participate. And I've never asked people who they voted for because I could care less.
Huh?
I've never asked people who they vote for. I never said who I ever voted
Although
for.
I remember you wouldn't say if you voted for Obama the second time either. So,
I participated.
but you did vote for Biden, and you did vote for Obama the first time.
Correct. First times.
Yes, but the second time you won't say.
First times you're correct.
Okay, so you diagnose what's wrong with the Democratic Party. So
That's
what's
just-
wrong? What's wrong with the Republican Party?
Oh my. Well, from the standpoint, just common sense. Okay, some gun sense.
So you think they're too extreme on the issue of guns?
They're too extreme. They're just common sense.
But besides guns, what would you say the problem is with the GOP?
Well, I'm just saying right now, from the GOP has gone just. They haven't taken serious the debt, and they've always been debt concerned. They haven't taken debt. No one's even talked about it.
I remember you told me that you thought Trump was a threat to democracy at one point. I mean, you were very concerned.
January 6th was a bridge too far for me, and I think they all know that. But I got along fine with him. We still get along. We're friendly.
You were in the box this weekend in the Army-Navy game.
It wasn't that I was invited, but I wasn't thrown out.
You weren't invited?
No, I mean they were just very cordial.
Uh-huh.
I was up in that area, and it's very close to that box. And then just kind of walked in. They were very accommodating. The president was very nice to me.
You talked to him?
Yeah,
What did
sure.
you talk about?
No, we just talked about, I want to help any way I can. I want you to succeed, which I've said every red blooded American should want your president to succeed, whether you vote for him or not, whether the same party or not, whether you like him or not. I like Donald Trump. I can work with him. I can talk
like
with
Donald
him.
Trump?
I get along fine.
You voted to convict him twice.
They should have never had those. Impeachment should have never been. Censorship should have been done.
On both times.
Yeah. Well, the second one's a hard one. That's a hard one. Yeah.
The first one should have been
First one
censorship.
should have been censorship,
Censorship.
for sure.
But even
the
though
bottom
you
line-
voted to convict him, you
That-
told him
that-
that you like him, and you.
I still get along. We get along fine. No problem there.
But now that you're leaving, you're a dying breed. Let's be honest. It's your species is growing extinct. A moderate in Congress is becoming extinct. Would you agree with that?
A moderate Republican and a moderate Democrat. The centrist part of both parties. That's why I think they're about really ready for a third party. They called the American Party to bring it all together. So the centrist moderate vote decides who's going to be the president of the United States. And when they get here, they don't govern that way.
Yeah.
Neither side does.
Yeah.
They go to respective corners. So if the center had a voice and had a party that can make both of these, the Democrat and Republican Party, come back, okay, that would be something.
So you think it's time for a third party?
I think it is.
What's it going to be called?
American Party.
American Party.
It,
Are you going to be the leader of the American Party?
I'll be out there rooting. I'll be the best cheerleader they've ever had.
You said the Senate sucks, famously.
Still does.
Still sucks.
Sucks. Well, the House sucks worse than the Senate. Those poor guys. I feel so sorry for them over there. They can't move.
Are you going to miss it?
I don't think so. I really, and I truly, I believe in term limits now.
Next time we should do this on the boat.
We will. After January 3rd, we'll do it there.
Okay. After January 3rd. And then with some moonshine, too, perhaps, next time.
Well, sometimes you need moonshine.
All right.